In the town of Oke-Ayo, where red dust clung to slippers and secrets traveled faster than motorcycles, there once lived a boy who sold tomorrow. Not palm oil, not cassava, not phone accessories in the market square. Tomorrow. They said if you met him at sunset behind Mama Kudi's provision store, he could promise you something better than what your hands currently held. Quick money, easy favor, sudden breakthrough. But what he never told anyone was this. Every tomorrow he sold came with a debt that always returned at night. And by the time he understood the cost, the town had already begun to whisper his name differently. His name was Tunde Afolayan. Tunde was 27, sharp-eyed, smooth-tongued, and permanently dissatisfied. Oke-Ayo was not a backward village. It had a secondary school, a small health center, 2 churches facing each other like rivals, and 1 mosque that called everyone to order 5 times a day. There was network most days, light sometimes, hope occasionally. Tunde grew up in a 2-room house with his widowed mother, Mama Bisi, who sold akara by the roadside. She had hands hardened by oil burns and a back permanently bent like a question mark. From childhood, she told him one thing: slow fire cooks sweet soup. But Tunde hated slow fire. He wanted gas cooker speed in a charcoal world. He was not lazy. That was the confusing part. He woke early, he dressed well, he knew how to calculate profit in his head. But every honest opportunity felt too small for him. His childhood friend, Shade Adeyemi, taught at the local primary school. She believed in building things patiently. She believed in savings groups. She believed in growth. Tunde believed in shortcuts. He started small, buying cheap phone accessories from the city and reselling them at a markup. But margins were thin and patience thinner. Then, one market day, he met Chief Aremu. Chief Aremu was not officially a chief, but in Oke-Ayo, money crowned people faster than kingships. He owned trucks, rented warehouses, and funded political campaigns quietly. He saw Tunde arguing passionately over the price of imported chargers. "You talk well," Chief Aremu said that day. "Have you considered bigger things?" Tunde smiled. Bigger things were his favorite topic. And that was how it began. The first deal was simple. Chief Aremu needed someone young, smart, and convincing to recruit farmers into a fast-yield agricultural investment. "Tell them," Chief said, "that within 3 months, their money will double. I have connections, export deals, government contracts." Tunde did not ask too many questions. He only saw numbers. He went to the town square under the old Iroko tree and spoke with fire. "Our fathers farmed for survival. We can farm for profit. This is modern times." Farmers listened. Tailors listened. Even the butcher leaned closer. Shade stood at the back, arms folded. After the crowd dispersed, she pulled him aside. "Tunde, doubling money in 3 months? How?" He laughed lightly. "You think small, Shade. The world has changed." But inside, something nudged him. He silenced it, because for the first time in his life, people were looking at him not as Mama Bisi's son, but as opportunity. Within 2 weeks, he collected money from 20 families. He delivered it to Chief Aremu, and 3 months later, everyone was paid double. The town celebrated him. They called him Tunde the Connector. He bought his mother a freezer, installed tiles in their house, bought a small used car. Mama Bisi looked at him with pride and something else. "Are you sure this soup is cooking clean?" she asked one night. He laughed again. "Ma, you worry too much." But here was the blind spot. Tunde thought success proved integrity. He believed that because it worked once, it must be right. He didn't notice that Chief Aremu now controlled the flow of every deal, that he himself was only a face. He didn't ask why doubling money seemed so easy. he only saw admiration, and admiration can be intoxicating. The second deal was larger, land investment. Chief Aremu claimed he had insider information, a road expansion project that would increase land value overnight. Gather investors, Chief said. This one is big. Tunde hesitated this time, just slightly. Are we sure about the government approval? Chief smiled calmly. Young man, I sit where approvals are decided. It sounded convincing. Tunde convinced 40 families to invest. Shade confronted him again. You are building a tower without checking the foundation, she warned. People are progressing, he snapped. Why do you always doubt? It hurt her, but she said nothing further. Weeks passed. Then one afternoon, news came. The road project was postponed indefinitely. Land value dropped. Investors panicked. Chief Aremu disappeared from public view. Tunde's phone would not stop ringing. He went to his house. The gate was locked. He went to his office. Empty. For the first time, Tunde felt the ground move beneath him. But he still believed it would fix itself. It had to. He assured investors it was temporary. He reassured his mother. But days turned to weeks. Savings vanished. School fees unpaid. Tension thickened in Oke-Ayo like harmattan dust. One evening, as he walked past the town square, conversations stopped. That silence was louder than insults. And yet, here was his next mistake. Instead of facing the truth publicly, he decided to gamble one more time. If I find another fast deal, he thought, I can repay everyone. He contacted a new city-based investor he barely knew. Crypto trading, guaranteed 30% weekly, the man promised. Tunde knew it sounded suspicious, but desperation disguises risk as hope. He used borrowed money, and when the platform crashed within days, everything collapsed. The night the truth finally broke him was not dramatic. There was no thunder, no shouting, just Mama Bisi sitting quietly on the edge of her bed. Tunde, Ayo the tailor came today. He said he used his daughter's school fees for your land deal. Tunde swallowed. She has been sent home. Silence stretched. You wanted to be big, she continued gently, but you forgot something. He waited. Big things cast big shadows. That night, he could not sleep. He replayed every conversation, every exaggerated promise, every time he silenced doubt because it slowed profit. He realized something painful. He had not been helping the town. He had been feeding on their trust. Morning came, and instead of hiding, he did something unexpected. He went to the town square, not to speak grandly, but to confess. I believed I was lifting us, he said, but I was lifting myself on your shoulders. People were angry. Some shouted. Some cried. He did not defend himself. He did not blame Chief Aremu. For the first time, he accepted his role fully. That acceptance was heavier than any insult. Repayment seemed impossible, but growth rarely begins with what is possible. It begins with what is necessary. Tunde sold his car, sold the freezer, returned the tiles to cement floors. He took a job at a legitimate agro-cooperative in a neighboring town, this time learning from the bottom. He studied supply chains, understood contracts, learned how profits were calculated. Slow fire. Shade watched quietly from a distance. Months turned to a year. Gradually, he repaid small amounts to each family, not because he was forced by law, but because he chose responsibility. Some people forgave quickly. Some never did. And that was another lesson. Restoration is not owed to you just because you regret. One afternoon, while working honestly at the cooperative, he discovered something disturbing. Chief Aremu was attempting the same scheme in another town. For a moment, old temptation whispered, "Let it go, focus on yourself." But Tunde remembered Ayo's daughter. He remembered the silence in the square. So he traveled there and exposed the scheme before it spread. Chief Aremu was eventually arrested, not by Tunde alone, but Tunde's testimony mattered. That day, something inside him shifted permanently. He was no longer the boy selling tomorrow. He was the man protecting it. Years later, Oke-Ayo changed slowly, not through quick deals, but through cooperative farming, small savings groups, and transparent partnerships. Tunde never became the richest man in town, but when he spoke now, people listened differently. Not because of flashy promises, but because of visible scars. One evening, under the Iroko tree, a young man approached him. "Sir, I have a fast investment idea. People can triple their money." Tunde smiled gently. "Tell me," he said, "how does it work?" The young man hesitated. And in that hesitation, Tunde saw his former self. He did not shout, he did not mock. He simply said, "Let's examine it slowly. If it is good, it will survive questions." As the sun set over Oke-Ayo, children played, women bargained, motorcycles roared past. Life continued. But somewhere in that red dust was a permanent reminder. Success without scrutiny is a borrowed throne, and every shortcut eventually demands a full payment. If you walk through Oke-Ayo today, they will still tell you about Tunde. Some will say he was foolish. Some will say he was brave. But all will agree on one thing. He learned that tomorrow cannot be sold. It must be built.